I'm Billy Chase Goforth from Door in the Woods, writer, director.
So I want to start out with, Billy, what films do you personally like or help inspired you? Like, I feel like there's a couple that pop into my mind, and I'd love to know if they're true or not.
I love The Shining. When we're talking about Door in the Woods, I absolutely love The Shining. I really like slow burn 70s horror like The Shining. That's kind of those are kind of gone away. There's not a lot of those anymore, but I like the slow burn stuff more than gore, stabby horror. I would much rather have some things more like the Twilight Zone that are a little more cerebral and a little more slow burn and a little more we really set out with Door in the Woods. Can we make would this movie stand on its own as a family drama if we took out all the horror elements? It might not be great, but I wouldn't kill myself watching it. It would hold up on its own. And so then when we add the paranormal elements, we get this movie that we think is really exciting and kind of fresh and different.
Let's talk about casting wise.
Yeah.
I love this family. Where did you find people? I mean, this is a really well cast film.
Oh, thanks. We found Jennifer Pierce Mathis because of friends here in Oxford. She was highly, highly recommended. And then I went and looked at a couple of things she'd done, and there was just no question in my mind that she would do it. And she was so willing to she was so gung-ho for whatever we wanted, and I let her know up front. I said, this movie opens up with you tired, like we're gonna make you up to look tired and worn, and then I'm gonna put a camera so close to your face, like so close. I'm like, are you okay with that? Because that's the kind of movie we're making. And she's like, yeah, I'll do it. And no complaints. There's a lot of actresses that wouldn't do that. There's a lot of actresses that I feel like they have to protect themselves and their brand. And Jennifer was down for whatever we wanted to do. David Snell, who plays Red, the dad, spent 7 seasons on The Shield, being the guy standing behind David Chiklis, just giving great reaction shots. And that's what we needed. This part, the part of the father's a little bit of a thankless role, and so we really wanted somebody that gave great reactions, and that's David. He's always doing something. He's always thinking about something in the background. He's never just a blank slate. He's always trying to do something. And then CJ Jones, we lucked into right before he blew up. That guy is going to be huge. He was in Baby Driver last summer, and he is now in Hulu's Stephen King series. He's in a couple episodes of that. And then he is working with James Cameron on the Avatar sequels. So he just keeps booking new stuff, and we were so lucky to get him. That I really wrote myself into a corner writing a role for a deaf actor, not knowing any. And then we decided very early on that we would stick to our guns, and it had to be a deaf actor. We didn't want to cast a hearing actor. So we went out and found there were 3 of us looking at deaf actors, and we all came back with CJ on our short list. Marlee Matlin had recommended him to us. There were a couple of other directors that had recommended him. And so we all just came back and compared lists, and it was like, oh, that guy's on all of them? Well, let's go get him. And he just knocked it out of the park. He's so great.
Is there any difference in directing a deaf actor compared to a regular actor?
There are several key differences in directing a deaf actor. So much of directing is coming up beside your actor and whispering in their ear. And in order to communicate with CJ, a lot of times we had to have an interpreter. We had an interpreter on the set full time for CJ. But it's remarkable CJ's ability to communicate on his own, even though he can't hear you. We very quickly developed kind of a shorthand. American Sign Language is so expressive that very often I can throw him just a reaction or expression, and he immediately would key in on what I wanted and adjust. He's a fantastic actor and so intuitive. Yeah, it was really fun. I was very nervous the first day, but we got one day under our belt, and after that it was simple.
How long did you shoot for?
We shot Door in the Woods for 20 of the coldest days we had in Arkansas that year. The full final third of the movie is set outdoors in a clearing, and our location was a drained cow pond. And it was, we had just a couple of nights that were so cold. We were shooting on a red Epic, and the camera would not boot up. Just refused to turn on. Follow focus froze. We kept having to take the camera back to the tents and warm it up. Every single shot in the third act, just out of frame, there's a propane heater. Not for comfort, to keep people alive. It's so cold, and they're in, we could put them in winter coats and, thermal underwear and stuff, but it's 8 degrees out there. Like it was dangerously cold sometimes. And we had no complainers. Everybody stuck it out and just did the work and killed it for us. But yeah, it was 20 very, very cold days.
I know I asked this on the red carpet, but tell me about this door and the creation of it.
We needed this door, of course, is a character on its own in the movie, and so we needed a very specific look, and we needed that door to fit 3 different locations, which means we could not just go out and buy a door. So art department built 3 different doors from scratch, and finished them out a couple of different ways each. All 3 of those doors looked different on one side to the other, because in the movie they paint the door, they strip the door, they work on it, all kinds of stuff. So the door was a very, very important character, important to the vibe of the piece, and our department just went above and beyond in scratch building these things for us, and making sure they matched, making sure the deterioration on them matched for different shots. And I think they had a ball doing it, but it was a ton of work. It was really a whole lot of work to make that happen for us.
What's it mean to be in a festival here in the Deep South, knowing that this is very much what I feel like a Southern Gothic feel to it?
It is. It's a very Southern Gothic feeling, paranormal type story. And I have a deep love for Oxford. I shot my first movie here, and I love this town. And it's so great we just got to screen the movie this afternoon and had a great audience who's very appreciative, lots of great feedback. And they felt that too, where we've had some other audiences that don't have that background. They don't quite get some of the ambiance that we're trying to, include in this movie. But the Oxford audience was very much aware of that and felt it, and several commented on it, which is really nice for that part of it to be appreciated.
As far as the film itself, what's the life of it after this?
We talked to several distributors before we made this movie and asked a lot of questions about what material they were looking for, and they gave us lots of great feedback. And I'm kind of frustrated with myself for having not done this before, because we tailored, we don't want to pander, but we tailored Door in the Woods toward what they told us they were looking for. And reaction from distributors has been really nice. There have been several that have hunted us down and called us up to have a look at the movie. I have no doubt we're going to sell this movie, and it's going to be available for audiences to enjoy on DVD and probably streaming and pay-per-view. We're really looking forward to making a deal. We're gonna make our investors their money back, and which is a nice aspect of doing horror, is very often you get to make your investors their money back. And you get to find a wider audience with genre movies than you might some other passion projects. So we're very excited about what's going to happen with this movie.
In the meantime, how can we follow the film and how can we follow you?
Yes, you can find you can follow us on Facebook at Door in the Woods movie. You can find me on I'm easy to find on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I'm on all those things, and you can follow me. And I tend to post more than the official stuff from the movie does. So find me and follow and keep up with what we're doing and where we're headed next.